Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome to a holiday special tutorial. It is December 2022, and I thought it would be fun to create a gingerbread man, all done in Maya, from modeling to UV mapping to texturing, some rigging, and maybe a little animation, all here for the holidays. So sit back and relax, and let's go ahead and get started in modeling the little gingerbread man. If you are new to this channel, I post 3D tutorials on a weekly basis. Software includes Maya, ZBrush, and Substance Painter. So if that is your sort of thing, please consider subscribing. So bring out your creativity, open up that software, and let's go ahead and get started in modeling a gingerbread man, perfect for the holidays. All right, here we are in Maya 2023.2, and we are going to go to Create and go to Free Image Plane. I'm going to open up my attributes with Control A and then click on that little folder, which will take me to my source images. Now, I have already created a project, and I've already found some gingerbread man cookie references. This is the one I'm going to be using, but it's always nice to see what it's going to look like at the end. I might actually add a couple more swirls. We'll see. All right, let's bring that in, open it up, and there he is in all his jolly glory. Bring him back here. I'm going to click on this little display channel or display tab. Over here, we have our create a new layer and assign object. So if I hit the V, it disappears. Let's click this twice, which now it's referenced, so I can't accidentally select it. Let's change this to reference layer. And there we have it. All right, let's start off with a cube, just like everything else. We would like to start with the cube, and I am going to start off with the leg, move up, and so on and so forth. Now, he's not going to be very, thick. So let's go ahead and go to panels, layout, and we're going to use 2 panels side by side. And this is going to be my orthographic front. And then, of course, I want to keep an eye on this. All right. Let's move this forward. All right, let's rotate this. It should be more like this, I think. Ooh, let me get this a little bit more like, it'll be easier to rig him if the topology follows him. Okay, here we go. Grab the bottom face, extrude, grab it here, extrude again, bring it here. You can grab that vertice and move it up. Face again, extrude, and it's basically rinse and repeat. I feel like when I model these things, I'm like, and that's basically how it works. You just continue to adjust your vertices, make sure that they all align according to the reference picture, and that's how you kind of do it. Control E. Bring this down. Again, scale in one direction. Notice that I'm not scaling uniformly like this. I'm only scaling on one direction. So that's going to help keep everything in the same width. So press at number 3. You can see that I am going to be doing some beveling later on. Moving on. Let's move up. I'm going to do beveling because I would like to keep the shape. Let's rotate this a little bit. Might be easier if I just grab some vertices and kind of align it a little bit more. I'm going to kind of bring this down so I can start getting that topology so that I eventually build half of this body. So again, I'm going to Control E. This time I'm going to press W and just kind of lift because I'm going to keep that center line there. And again, grab this and I'm going to start aligning this. So they're both, double click this tool. I'm going to reset my tool. And I actually don't want object space, I want world space. So that gives me this. Yay, much easier to manipulate. Whoop. Back to faces, extrude, lift. Again, go to vertices and move this. Face, extrude, lift, extrude. I'm going to do the body. Whoop. The arm's going to be extruded from here. Looks like it's a little high. All right, let's do the hands, or the arms / hands, I guess. Control E. Might need to shape a little bit here. Looks good so far. Control E. Control E again. Control E. Oops. Okay, so now I want world space. So now I'm gonna, or object space. Just makes it a little bit easier. Or you can always click on the letter D and move the pivot point so that it goes to the point that you want. Control E, or you can just move the vertices. Totally up to you. All right. Is he cute? Yes. All right, let's go with the head. It might be easier if I actually mirror it to the other side already, so I can, it's kind of hard for me to work with just half of the head. I could do it, but it might be easier if I just go ahead and mirror it now. All right, let's center that pivot. Let's grab that move tool, double click on it so we can see the tools, and I'm going to reset it. There we go. Click on the letter D, move it over here. And then we're going to go to mesh, mirror. And right now it's a -X, which works. 0.56 is a little high, so maybe 0.3 might be better. Doesn't make much of a difference because I don't have that much geometry, but still it's important to make sure you have that geometry there. And we now have our gingerbread body. Ooh la la. All right, let's grab the little head. Control E. Bring it up. This time I am going to double click on this again, reset my tool, double click on it again, and let's choose a world space. There we go. And this time I'm going to be extruding, scaling on one direction, extruding, extruding again, scaling on one direction, extrude again, one direction, extrude again, and now we have the basic body of a gingerbread man. Aww. Make him a little thicker. Whoop. Right, so that's what he looks like, but he looks a little soft, so let's grab some edges, and I want to preserve the edges around him. So I still want to make sure that he remains soft. I don't want him to look rigid, but I do want to make sure that he does preserve his edges. So I'm going to select the edges, press Q if the manipulator is getting on the way, and you might want to grab these guys down here too, just to make sure. Shift double click, 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 shift double click, shift double click. You may be asking yourself, well, you may be wondering, why is Monica suddenly interested in doing it? I don't know. I was in the holiday spirit and I was walking around the mall and then I saw a gingerbread man. And I was like, that'd be so cute to model. And I think it'd be relatively easy to model. So I was like, let me just see how fast I can model a gingerbread man. So let's see. Oops, let's not forget up here. And that looks pretty good. I hope. We'll find out real fast. Control B for bevel, increase your fraction, and then you can increase your segment as well. Ta-da! So I do have an end gone along here. So what I can try to do is use the multi-cut to go across here. Mystery vertice. Mystery vertice. Oops, that did not cut correctly. So let's grab the weld tool, target weld, click and drag, target weld, U to U. Hopefully I didn't accidentally weld something back here. Let's do the same thing again. Let's go to object mode, shift right click, multi-cut tool, click across. That's probably better. Double check vertices, make sure I didn't accidentally make extra vertices. And this is looking like a straight line, so I'm going to just lift a little bit. All right. Let's check over here. Might weld this too. I don't think I need that there. Interesting, these vertices just don't came out of nowhere. Or maybe I accidentally made them. I have no idea. I'm like, where did you guys come from? Who knows? Let's see. I'm sure if I watch the video again, I'm going to be like, Monica, you forgot to do something. You forgot to do this. Let's see. Where's my multi-cut? Let's grab this. I'm just cleaning up my engons. I'm not a fan of engons. Then across here, I'm going to get a tiny little triangle. Little triangle. It's okay. Just deleted that because it was giving me an engon, so just got rid of it. Problem solved. Moving, shading, X-ray. All right, so now we've got all these cute little assets and things like that, and I'm going to be showing you guys the QuadDraw tool. There's a variety of ways we can quickly model these, but the QuadDraw tool I feel will just make it easier for me. So I'm going to go over here to the right and use the modeling toolkit. Make sure you select your model and click on this little magnet, which is live. And then here's my QuadDraw. And basically what I'm going to do is just, start building maybe these little swirls. So you just have to click on the points and create 4 points. Hold down Shift and it makes a piece of geometry, and it actually gets stuck on there. So what's really nice about this is that I can just go in and create these 4 points and then hold down Shift. Let's see if I want it like that. Shift. Like so. So what it's going to do is just kind of attach this geometry onto the piece. So you can kind of go through here, just hold down Shift and create your pieces. You're not limited. You can always move things around. You can add, you can get rid of it. There's a bunch of directions actually down here at the bottom where it says keyboard mouse shortcuts. So I'm going to go through and basically create. It's really fast. It's awesome. So again, hold down Shift, hold down Shift, hold down Shift. And you're getting your geometry really, really fast. If you need more, you can click on Control and that will give you more. You can move the vertices around. And there you go. You can delete it if you're not happy with it. So for example, I feel like I could do a better job. So I feel like it will just be a little bit smoother. There it is. Whoop, almost. I've got to get the right angle. Let me get closer. There we go. All right, once you're done, get out of QuadDraw, get out of the little magnet, and then you now have a new piece of geometry, which I can grab and I can extrude. And if you want, you can scale, right? So you get this cute little thing. I feel like it needs to be bigger, or I'm gonna have to bevel it, which I know I'm gonna have to do anyway. So let me undo all of this and let me just scale it up a little bit. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna extrude. Bring it in a tiny bit, and then I can double click on these edges and then do a quick bevel. Control B, increase my segments, and there it is. How cute is that? Not sure it's thick enough, so let me center that pivot and make it thicker. Cool, and I get to reuse it. Awesome. Duplicate. Flip to the other side. Duplicate again, Control D, go over here, put it over here. Trying to match my reference just a little bit more. Duplicate. And there we go. Cool. Cute. All right, let's grab everything, center the pivot, delete the history, freeze the transformation so that we make sure everything's nice and clean. Let's save. I haven't saved. Oh boy. Dangerous grounds if you don't save. Let's go ahead and save. All right, the little buttons are easy. I mean, they're just going to be little, it's up to you. You can be planes or you can do spheres. So you can see in their reference that some of them can be like little spots, or maybe they can be, well, that can be that too, or they can be, they're mostly circles basically. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, but they don't need to be this high poly. So let me go into my poly sphere and just change this to like maybe a 10 by 10. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and rotate these 90 degrees. And I'm probably going to crush it a little bit. So let me grab half of this, delete, and then I'm going to crush it a little bit. All right, scale to fit. Make sure it presses against your little gingerbread man. And let's bring that in. Control D. Move it slightly. Control D. And maybe scale it just to make it look a little different. So select all three, press the number 3, and really simple, really nice. All right, for this, you can do the same thing. You can use QuadDraw, or you can just model it. So I think it might be easier for me to model it. So I'm going to grab a cube. I'm going to do half of it. So, and then I'll mirror it to the other side fairly quickly. Oh, that's really long. Let me make that smaller. All right, let's make it smaller still. Okay. So let's grab this side face here. I'm going to scale it a little bit. Control E. Scale it on one direction. Control E. Scale it on this direction, Control E, and there we go. Perfect. Delete that interface. Make sure that pivot point, I'm going to go ahead and go to object mode, move that pivot point to the center here. And then we are going to go ahead and mirror to the other side. And voila. Easy peasy. Let's go to edges. Double click, shift double click. Grab the edges that you want to preserve. All right, now I got those edges. Hopefully I got them all. Let me double check on the other side. Looks good. Control B. Let's see, increase my segments to 2. Oh, too many. 2. And let's see what we get. All right. He's looking like a little gingerbread man. I'm actually going to take this, duplicate it, and make an eye. Whoop, and then duplicate it again and move it to this side. Awesome. Okay. Now you can grab this and extrude, and all that stuff. But I'm going to, use the QuadDraw tool because I find it fun. So let's go to the QuadDraw. And then, one thing that you have to make sure is to make this piece of geometry live. Otherwise, it thinks you're trying to manipulate it. So let's go ahead and click on this little magnet. Now we can go to QuadDraw. And we can start drawing our dots. So really easy. And it attaches to the geometry. It's pretty fun. Hold down Shift. Move them around. And I think, whoops, let's get out of QuadDraw, and I think it's good. Simple, easy, fast. It's awesome. Extrude. Maybe scale a little bit. What was that? Oh, don't forget to turn off the magnet. I'm like, what's it doing? Oh, it's attaching to the geometry a little bit. And then, of course, we want to bevel our edges. Control B. Creates our segments. And now we have some eyebrows, a little small in comparison. Let me center that pivot. And I think that looks good. Let's duplicate it to the other side. I'm going to freeze the transformations, all that stuff, and then just go to -1 on the X, which was basically mirrors it, and then bring it over here. Okay. Smiley face. I'm going to only do half of it. So again, grab the body, grab the magnet, modeling toolkit, click on the QuadDraw, and then make your dots following your reference image. Shift click, shift click, shift click, 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 click. Awesome. Easy peasy. Turn off the magnet, center that pivot, move that pivot point. Mesh mirror. Oop, you see how it just created a triangle? Let's reduce that number to like a 0.2. There we go, that's better. Let's fix some vertices here. All right, let's grab faces, extrude, bring it out, scale it in a little bit. Edges, double click, shift click, control B for bevel, 2 segments, and there we go. Let's make sure it's big enough. Whoop. All right, here we go. Cool. Let's take a look at my reference image. Cool. All right, so next is how to texture the object. So we need to UV map it, and then we also need to texture it. And I'm going to procedurally texture it. So that means that I'm only going to be using the shaders that are available in Maya. So all of it's going to be Maya bound. All right, well, I think that's a good place to stop. We did a really cute cookie. We can always make him a little thinner, but actually let's add a light just so we can see what's going on. Physical sky. Usually I have to increase my intensity to at least a 1.5, and let's render. Cute. All right, next is going to be shading. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. We use QuadDraw. We of course did extrude, we mirrored, and we can produce something really fun, really quickly, really fast. If you did learn a thing or two, please click on that like button and also subscribe. That would be amazing. That is your message to me, letting me know that you like this type of content and that you want to see more. Also, don't forget to take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. There you can find free video trainings, ebooks, downloads, and so much more. So take a look at academicphoenixplus.com, and there you can actually find some e-courses. So if you're interested in purchasing an e-course or two, that would be another fantastic way of supporting me so I can create more content for you. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep creating, and I will see you next time when we start texturing this little gingerbread man.